Well, in today's video, I want to look solely at Hurricane Irma, which appears to be reorganizing once again. It's kind of held at Category 3 strength now for the past few days, but fighting some dry air, and now it looks as if it's starting to regain a bit of strength. You can see here at the very end of this rainbow infrared satellite loop that is starting to kind of look a little bit more healthier and more organized, with the eye becoming a lot more prominent. So this system is going to probably go to Category 4. One model indicates that it will go to Cat 5. A lot of uncertainty remains with this system. But certainly in terms of the nearer term, it looks as if it's going to have some very significant impacts on the northern side of the Lesser Antilles, then probably coming close to Puerto Rico. You can see here that it looks as if it's going to kind of go to the north of the island. But of course, this is the very latest National Hurricane Center track for Irma, keeping it as a major hurricane, so Category 3 or stronger. To the north of the islands here, I think the overall consensus is it looks as if it is going to have impact on the Bahamas, but what is going to happen after that, very much open to question. There's a lot of nonsense getting spouted about on the internet with regards to Irma and its, you know, potential impacts in the United States. It does look, I will say this much, it does look as if the United States is going to be impacted, and quite potentially majorly as well. The biggest problem we've got though is once it gets towards the Bahamas, it's very difficult to escape a US landfall. But where's it going to go? Is it going to go in the Miami area? Is it going to go up into the Carolinas? That remains to be seen. But certainly the global models indicate that it will go to the north of the islands, which is good for the islands, may I add. We do not want it to go either over or just to the south, because of course that would be the worst case for these islands here. Uh, it's still going to be a bad impact. Damaging winds, flooding rainfall, storm surge, battering waves hitting the coast. We're still going to get those impacts, even if it goes just to the north of the islands. If it goes a little bit further to the north, which I don't think it will, there would be a little bit less extreme impact on the islands. But certainly, it is better to see this system going to the north of the islands as opposed to over or to the south, because that would be the worst of Irma would be slamming the islands. So, like I said, a great deal of uncertainty as to where it goes once we get this thing into the Bahamas, but it is looking more and more likely that this could be quite a big impact storm once again on the United States. You can see that this is the GFS ensemble runs once again taking it to the north of the islands. Then it takes it towards South Florida here, to the south of Miami and Fort Lauderdale here, right on the southern tip, in fact. And there's a lot of consensus here that it's going into this very region here. Very warm water, may I add, and this could be a potentially catastrophic event if everything played out the way it looks as if it may play out. I'm trying to hesitate and kind of going all out with the scare stories of what could happen if this system hits South Florida. I'm trying to avoid that because there's a lot of people that's kind of jumping too quick on this and saying this, that, and the next thing. We don't know yet. We don't know, and it's still quite a little bit away. The primary concern is obviously the Lesser Antilles and also Puerto Rico. It looks as if it's going to have some very significant impacts there. Then we need to watch out for potentially the northern side of Hispaniola, then the Bahamas, and then after that, that is when we're talking about impacts on the United States. So let's quickly focus on the kind of the next few days here, as opposed to what's going to happen in the United States. Unfortunately for folks in the Caribbean, a lot of the attention goes straight to the United States as opposed to other nations within the Caribbean Sea. A lot of the attention tends to be skipped. But certainly, as you can see here in this infrared, it looks as if we have got a strengthening system. It does look likely that we are going to see this system going just in the north of the islands having big impacts, and then we'll need to wait and see what happens later in the weekend. So we're talking about next weekend and beyond for potential impacts in the United States overall. So that's it for today. Hope you have a great Monday, and I'll be back in the next few days, hopefully. Bye for now.